Hey everyone, welcome to Unique Ways with Thomas Gerard, an audio podcast. Got a really great guest on today. She helps teams make great products. She's a former UX leader at Amazon and has 20 years consulting experience specializing in messy startups. She's the co-author of the Persona Lifecycle books. Please join me in welcoming Tamara Adlin. Welcome.
Thanks. It's Tamara rhymes with camera.
Oh, Tamara.
It's all good.
Are you ready for 20 questions?
I am.
Great. Question one, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you do?
Um, I I help teams get on the same page and aligned about what they're actually trying to build and how to make that make sense to the customers they're going after, rather than chase after every squirrel and shiny object and new technology that is floating around them.
Great. And just a note for the audience, if you guys are interested in the big 2025 episodes, please check out our episode with Kareem Rashid. Question two, what's a key piece of knowledge that makes you different?
Key piece of knowledge, I think it's more of a key perspective, which is that I'm really good at remembering what it's like not to know how to do things.
Mm,
Whatever things need to be done and software is trying to help people do them. I'm really good at remembering what it's like not to know how to do it.
great. Okay, question three, why this of all things? Why do you do what you do?
Um, I think it's partially, because I'm fascinated by psychology, I'm fascinated by technology, and I'm fascinated by communication challenges and how to put together the pieces of the puzzle of a people in an organization, how to solve the real problems that are getting in the way of teams making good products, which usually have nothing to do with techniques or technology or any of that. They usually have to do with miscommunication and misalignment.
Great. Some people struggle with number four, and the question is, what does your future look like?
I think my future looks like I'm sort of going into the wisdom stage of my career, and I have another book to publish, and I have a lot of stuff that I can teach and mentor, and I think my future is also going to continue to include a lot of volunteer and pro bono stuff like I do now for Never Search Alone.
Nice. And five, let's talk about location. How does the notion of place play into what you do?
It's big. I grew up in Baltimore, came about as far as you can without hitting water to land in Seattle to go to grad school, and stayed here ever since. I think Seattle has been the epicenter of tech and creativity, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it's a huge part of who I've become.
Great. And six, you're starting from the beginning. What advice do you give your former younger self?
Oh, the best advice I got was that during difficult times, and this was advice I got from a friend of the family, you're going to look back on this time of difficulty and it's going to seem like a very short blip in your life. So when you're young and you're in difficulty or you're trying to figure out what to do or you feel completely stuck, it feels permanent, but it's not permanent. And you will figure it out and you will get past it. And in the future, it will just be a tiny little marker in your life, not the huge decimating event that it seems like right now.
Nice, I like that. What's a day in your life like?
Day in my life, I get up, I feed my rescue rabbits who live in my house with me, and then I typically get coffeeed up and then on the computer for meetings and then off the computer because I get distracted and do some exercise and hang out with really good friends.
Great. So eight is about lifelong learning. It's a popular topic. How do you stay up to date?
With lifelong learning, I don't know. I just follow my curiosity wherever it leads me and try not to get distracted by the stuff I feel like I should be learning. It's so easy to feel like you have to keep up with everything. You have to be an expert in AI. You have to be an expert in machine learning. You had to, a few years ago, be an expert in blockchain. Well, you don't. You don't have to be an expert in everything. You just have to follow your nose and stay good in the areas that you need to stay good in.
Great. So nine is about tools. Can you talk about your use of digital and or analog tools?
Sure. I use my phone all the time. I'm a hardcore Mac person. I don't mind being in the walled garden. I use a lot of really basic tools like documents and spreadsheets and uh, digital whiteboards and presentation tools. I think my favorite tools now are the presentation tools, which enable me to get out there and reach lots of people from the comfort of my own desk, which is interesting because back in 1999, I helped to create one of the very early ones, which was called NetPodium.
Cool. So halfway number 10, how do you deal with work life or life work balance?
It's kind of tricky. Mine is very intertwinkled because I've worked from home for over 20, 25 years and I've gotten good at that. And so I feel like it's a mushy boundary between my work and my off time. And also sometimes when I hang out and do non-work stuff like watch TV, my brain is still working and chewing on things and figuring out the answers to problems that I'm facing in work. But to me, it's all a puzzle, and puzzles are fun, whether they're work or relaxation.
Nice. And 11, if you weren't doing what you do now, what might you be doing?
Working on Sesame Street, maybe. Wouldn't that be cool?
12, what would you not like to do with your career?
With my career, I don't think I want to go back in house and become a big part of a big machine where everything's impossible to change and the politics are impossible to sway. I think I think I just would not do well at all in that.
Do you have a favorite word, quote, or sentence?
I like Be Brave. And I also like, there's a quote from a Ricky Lee Jones song, which is love like youth is wasted on the young, which if you think about it for a while, is just really interesting and broad statement about the way that life works and the way that it works when you sort of build up knowledge and wisdom and peace over time. And yet, youth is when everybody expects all of those things to be harvested. I don't know. I just like thinking about that.
Great. And how about a least favorite word, quote, or sentence?
I hate it when people say height. I just cannot with height. It does not rhyme with width. It's height.
Mhm. And you're choosing one word to describe yourself. What word do you choose?
Probably quirky.
What keeps you up at night?
What keeps me up at night is making lists in my head.
Nice. And do you have a dream you're chasing?
Yeah, third book and figuring out a way to just teach or get some of my thoughts out there without overloading myself with details and producing and all of that stuff.
Nice. And 18, what inspires you?
What inspires me is Phil Terry inspires me. Phil's the author of Never Search Alone, which is helping thousands of people look for jobs in a new way, which is a completely free program, a community-based program, volunteer-driven that I'm part of. Seeing someone like Phil find ways to succeed incredibly in business and also succeed incredibly in delivering value back to the community for free, that inspires me.
Great. And last couple here. Number 19, any advice you'd like to share?
Uh, yeah, there's some advice I got from a wonderful boss I had many years ago who said to me when I was worried about starting this new project or starting this new role, he said, there are people out there that would do it different than you, but there's nobody out there that would do it better than you. This isn't always true, but it's a great way to think about new challenges.
Great. And finally, number 20, how can our listeners keep tabs on you and what's our call to action?
Well, I have a website, adlininc.com. They can follow me, Tamara Adlin. I'm the only one on LinkedIn. And I have my own podcast called Corporate Underpants.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining today. Great to connect with the States. Thanks.
Oh, thanks so much. Really appreciate it.